wrote these words, he understood. He who desires to rule must know how to dissemble. To obey present necessities, that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. Niccolò Machiavelli. Chapter 1. The Family Leash. The family leash. They tell you family is strength? A lie. Your closest kin are often your greatest impediment, fearing your rise above all else. They bind you subtly. In his ruthless wisdom, understood centuries ago, every time you strain for the horizon. Niccolò Machiavelli, in his ruthless wisdom, understood centuries ago that those closest to you often fear your rise more than your enemies. They tell you family is strength, your unwavering support. This is a lie. Right now, you are bleeding potential, losing ambition. The people closest to you are the architects of your invisible cage. They do not act from malice, but from a deeper, more insidious place. Your comfort zone is their prison. This is the family leash. It works through silent expectations, unspoken rules, and a constant subtle pullback to who you used to be. They know your weaknesses. They remember your failures. They project their own fears onto your ambitions, calling it concern. They destroy you by creating an anchor. When you try to ascend, they remind you of your past self, the you that fit their picture. Your transformation challenges their own stagnant lives. Your growth means their change, and they will resist. They will drain your energy with constant questions. They will dismiss your new ventures with a condescending smile. They will subtly undermine your confidence, making you doubt your own vision. This is how they keep you small, manageable, and perpetually within reach. You announce a new venture, a bold move, a radical change in your life. Their immediate response is rarely excitement. Instead, it's a torrent of, "Are you sure? Is that realistic?" Don't forget where you came from. They plant seeds of doubt. You decide to break free. You move to a new city, start a difficult business, or dedicate yourself to an extreme discipline. The phone calls increase. The passive-aggressive comments surface. The guilt trips begin, subtle and relentless. This is not support. This is control. Disguised as care, they are not protecting you. They are protecting their perceived stake in your identity. They want a version of you that fits into their existing world, not the powerful, dangerous version you are becoming. Here's how you cut the leash: silence. You must become a ghost with your ambitions. Stop sharing your plans, your dreams, your struggles. Starve them of the information they use to bind you. Operate in a stealth mode they cannot penetrate. Nothing leaks, nothing drains, everything compounds. Your growth becomes your secret weapon. They cannot criticize what they do not know. They cannot undermine what they do not see. Your power grows unseen, unmolested. If you announce your goals, people will offer unsolicited advice, project their failures, or actively work to diminish your spark. But if you quietly execute, there is nothing for them to grab onto, no place for their doubts to take root. You become impenetrable. This strategy is not about deceit. It's about self-preservation. It is the ultimate boundary, a wall built of discretion and focused action. Your energy, your focus, your drive, these are finite resources. Guard them like a warlord guards his stronghold. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, understood the power of the inner citadel. He wrote about the necessity of withdrawing into oneself, seeking tranquility from within, rather than from external validation or the opinions of others. Your peace is your power. What he understood is that external noise, especially from those who claim to love you, can corrupt your judgment and erode your resolve. Your mission demands a clear mind, free from the subtle poisons of their well-meaning doubt. You must cultivate indifference to their whispers. They will interpret your silence as detachment, perhaps even arrogance. Let them. Their interpretations are their own burden. Your only concern is the execution of your vision. Their confusion is your shield. Their lack of information is your advantage. You cannot explain your ambition to those who refuse to see beyond their own fears. You cannot justify your climb to those who are comfortable in the valley. The path to mastery is walked alone, in the quiet discipline of consistent, unannounced action. Now, this silent execution protects your upward trajectory from one insidious leak. But there's another trap waiting, an emotional ambush set by the very history you share. What is it? Chapter 2, The Anchor Effect. The anchor effect. It binds you. Your own kin, unknowingly, can shackle your ascent. We examine this subtle sabotage and how to break free. It is the anchor effect. You are climbing, you are building, you are striving for higher ground. But there is an invisible chain tethering you to the bottom. This chain is forged from shared history, unspoken expectations, and the suffocating comfort of familiarity. Your family, often without malicious intent, becomes the anchor, holding you in the waters they know, preventing your ship from sailing into uncharted, richer seas. They do not mean to harm you. They mean to keep you safe. Their love, however, can become a lead weight around your ambition. They project their own fears, their own limits, their own unfulfilled potential onto your journey, shaping it not by your vision, but by their anxieties. Every step you take upward pulls against this invisible rope, creating resistance, draining your drive. Watch what happens when you start to genuinely succeed, when you break free from the mold. They know. You start building something real, making real money, making real moves. Suddenly, the phone calls increase, the concerned questions multiply. They talk about staying grounded, remembering where you came from, always subtly reminding you of your perceived place in their established order. They bring up old stories, past mistakes, times you were less than you are now, not to hurt you, but to pull you back into the comfort of a familiar, smaller identity. You must cut this line. Understand that their comfort is often your stagnation. Your job is not to justify your vision, your ambition, or your new reality to them. Your job is to create distance, not necessarily physical, but profoundly emotional. When they probe, when they question, when they try to pull you back with their concerns, offer nothing substantial. Present a calm, solid presence that is simply moving forward without explanation or emotional investment in their manufactured drama. If you argue, if you try to make them understand, you plug yourself directly back into their emotional grid. You invite the very gravitational pull you are trying to escape. But if you simply move, if you simply build, if you simply become, without needing their approval or explaining your trajectory, there is nothing for them to grip onto. The rope goes slack, the anchor loses its hold. Louis XIV, the Sun King, understood the power of a single, unyielding will to break away from old power structures. He centralized all authority in himself, famously declaring, "Alate, se moi, I am the state." He tolerated no competing centers of power, no old loyalties that might challenge his absolute rule. What he grasped is that for a new, dominant order to rise, existing structures, including those of family and tradition, must be either absorbed or rendered irrelevant to your personal ascent. The philosopher Seneca, a master of stoicism, spoke often of inner freedom and the necessity of not being a slave to external opinions or desires, even those presented as genuine affection. He wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." What he understood is that true self-mastery demands an internal compass, guided by your own reason and ambition, not swayed by the gravitational pull of others' expectations, however well-meaning. Your family's comfort zone is not your destiny. This emotional drag is a powerful, often unconscious, form of sabotage. But there's another subtle weapon they wield, one that attacks your very sense of self and subtly rewrites your personal history. What is it? Chapter 3, Invisible Chains. Invisible chains. Remember this truth, my friends. Their fear, not your failure, binds you. We examine the silent sabotage designed to keep you small. The invisible chains are forged from their fear, not your failure. They manifest as subtle, undermining currents of dismissive comments, backhanded compliments, and constant discouragement. This is not open rebellion. It is silent sabotage, designed to keep you tethered to their perception of your limitations. Your ascent exposes their own stagnation. This slow drip of negativity erodes your self-belief. It plants seeds of doubt into the fertile ground of your ambition. They don't need to yell. A whisper of, "Are you sure that's realistic?" or "You've always been more of a dreamer, haven't you?" is enough. Each remark is a microaggression against your drive, a subtle pull to keep you small. Think about the casual dinner conversation. You mention a new project, a bold move, the air changes, a smile, then the concern begins. "That sounds like a lot of work, dear." Don't burn yourself out. Or the classic, "Remember your uncle, he tried something like that once." They present these observations as care, but the true message is a warning. Stay within the lines, stay safe, stay with us. Their words become an echo chamber of your potential failures, amplified by the voices closest to you. You start to internalize the doubt, questioning your own judgment, your own vision. This is the insidious power of the invisible chain. It binds your ambition, not with steel, but with self-doubt, woven by those who claim to love you most. To counter this, understand their psychology. Operate with the ruthlessness of a strategist. Cesare Borgia, when consolidating power, knew open conflict wasted resources and revealed weakness. He understood true control, came from anticipating veiled threats, neutralizing them before they festered. His approach was not to argue, but to act decisively, rendering opposition irrelevant. What Cesare Borgia understood is that the battlefield of ambition is psychological. You cannot waste energy defending your vision against those who benefit from your stagnation. Their doubts are a projection of their own fears. You must become an impenetrable fortress. Your internal resolve unshakable, your plans unyielding to their subtle attacks. Here's how you disarm their subtle weaponry. Become unraidable. You do not explain, you do not justify, you do not seek their understanding or approval. When they offer their concerns, you listen, nod, and change the subject. You give them no emotional reaction to feed on, no arguments to dissect, no weaknesses to exploit. Starve their negativity of fuel. Your ambition becomes a silent, internal fire. Share your plans only with those who uplift, or, more effectively, with no one at all. They will probe, they will prod, they will try to pull you into their familiar patterns of doubt. But if there is nothing to grab, nothing to pull, their chains hang limp and useless. Watch what happens when you refuse to engage, when you stop defending your choices. Their passive-aggressive comments lose their sting. They become impotent. The silence that follows your non-response is more powerful than any argument. It communicates strength, conviction, and unshakable belief in your path. The fool wastes energy trying to convince them, seeking validation that will never come. He exhausts himself in debates he cannot win, reinforcing their role as judges of his potential. He leaks his ambition, draining his power with every explanation. The strategist understands results speak louder than words. He builds in silence. He allows his actions to become his undeniable argument. When you complete a project, achieve a goal, or make undeniable progress, there is nothing for them to dismiss. They cannot argue with demonstrated reality. This quiet demonstration is psychological warfare. It redefines the power dynamic. They are no longer gatekeepers of your potential. They are spectators to your ascent. Your success becomes the ultimate rebuttal, rendering their fears irrelevant. You move from being understood to being respected. This unwavering focus on self-mastery, on building and proving through action, was a principle seen in the greatest minds. Leonardo da Vinci, a man who saw no limits to human potential, famously said, "Learning never exhausts the mind." He approached every challenge with relentless curiosity, unburdened by small-minded criticisms. What Leonardo da Vinci understood is that true genius ignores the noise of the crowd. Your mental energy is a finite resource. Do not spend it battling ghosts of their insecurity. Instead, channel it into the relentless pursuit of your own truth, your own mastery, your own creation. Let your work become your voice, and let it silence theirs. Your potential is not a commodity for family approval. It is a force within you, waiting to be unleashed. Their invisible chains are illusions, fabrications of their comfort zone. To break free, you must see them for what they are, not acts of love, but acts of subtle control. Become self-contained. Your energy, your focus, your ambition, these are not for public consumption. They are your private arsenal. Guard them fiercely. Let your actions speak, and let the silence that surrounds your true intentions be your most formidable weapon. This mastery of self, this refusal to engage in their subtle sabotage, creates an internal fortress no outside force can penetrate. But even as you solidify your internal world, another external pressure begins to build, disguised as obligation. What is it? Chapter 4, Mirror of Failure. Family, a lethal reflection. They project their unlived lives, their regrets, onto your path. This mirror of failure, it keeps you confined. That external pressure, often disguised as sincere concern, is actually a lethal reflection. It is the insidious mirror of failure, where your family projects their own unlived lives, their quiet despairs, and their crushing regrets directly onto your path. This isn't always overt malice. It's a subconscious act born from their own limitations, a desperate attempt to keep you within the confines of their own comfort zone. They do not consciously wish for your downfall. They simply see themselves in you, not the unique, powerful entity you truly are. Your ambition, your hunger for something beyond the ordinary, triggers their own memories of hesitation, of the safe choice, of the dream that died in silence. They genuinely believe they are protecting you, shielding you from potential pain. But what they are truly protecting is their own fragile worldview. They want to prevent you from experiencing the same potential pain they once faced, or more acutely, the pain of risking what they never dared to risk, leaving them behind in the dust of their own compromises. Think about the moment you share a bold aspiration, a new business venture, a definitive move to another city, a radical career pivot that deviates from their expectations. Their immediate response is rarely genuine enthusiasm or practical support. Instead, you receive a rapid-fire catalog of potential disasters. Are you sure about that? What if it doesn't work out? You know how risky that is, how many people fail. This isn't advice. It's a mirror reflecting their own cautious, defeated inner landscape back at you, a warning not from their wisdom, but from their weakness. This constant drip of doubt, cloaked in familial concern, slowly erodes your self-belief. Every "be careful" chips away at your resolve. Every "what if" plants a seed of hesitation. They are not offering guidance. They are creating invisible chains, binding you to their own psychological prison. This is how potential dies, not with a bang, but with 1,000 tiny concessions to fear, fear that isn't even truly yours. Here's how you disarm this projection, this psychological warfare, waged by those closest to you. You recognize it for what it is. It is not a prophecy of your future. It is an echo of their past, a testament to their own unfulfilled courage. You listen, you nod, you internalize nothing. Their words are not meant for you. They are meant for the younger versions of themselves, the ones who chose comfort over conquest, security over self-mastery. Your job is to filter their fear through the impenetrable lens of your own unyielding vision, to understand that their reality is not your destiny. If you waste your precious energy arguing, defending your choices, or desperately trying to secure their approval. You grant their fears legitimacy. You step onto their battlefield armed only with their flawed map of the world. You allow them to dictate the terms of engagement. But if you simply acknowledge their concern with a neutral phrase, "I understand your worries, thank you," and then quietly, relentlessly proceed with your meticulously planned attack, you render their projections powerless. There is nothing to fight if you are not fighting back. There is only your undeniable, silent forward movement. Julius Caesar understood the weight of external opinion, particularly when it sought to curb the ambition of a truly capable man. When faced with the Roman Senate's demands to disband his legions before crossing the Rubicon, a political maneuver designed to strip him of his power and ambition, he made a decision that defied all conventional warnings and the fear of civil war. His famous crossing was not merely a military tactical move, it was a profound psychological statement, a public rejection of limits imposed by others' anxieties and political maneuvering. What he grasped is that true power and destiny are found in the unyielding pursuit of your own vision, regardless of the wooings from those who lack the courage to pursue their own. He chose to be his own authority. This requires an internal discipline, a ruthless ability to distinguish genuine counsel from veiled sabotage. Cardinal Richelieu, who famously consolidated absolute power in 17th century France, was a master at discerning the true motives behind even the most polite resistance. He knew that good advice from those with conflicting interests, or from those paralyzed by their own fears, was often the most dangerous form of opposition. He would listen, extract any useful data, and then swiftly act according to his own unshakable strategic imperative for France, never allowing the anxieties, the personal ambitions, or the projected failures of others to dictate the course of the state. His will was iron. The mirror of failure reveals their weakness, not yours. You have seen their projections, understood their origins, and neutralized their power. But sometimes the sabotage is not a reflection, but a deliberate, constant drain, a subtle erosion of your most precious resources, your time, your energy, your focus. What is this silent thief? And how do you seal the leak before it hollows you out completely? Chapter 5. Sever the T's. Bloodlines, a gilded cage. You must understand their true cost. This chapter reveals how to reclaim your sovereignty and power. The silent thief is their claim to your attention, attacks on your mental space, a forced participation in their small dramas. This is the ultimate drain, the slow bleed that saps your ambition, redirecting your focus from your own climb to their endless needs. They do not steal your money, but they steal the precious energy you need to earn it, to build, to dominate. They believe they are entitled to your emotional labor, to your time, to your ear, simply because of a shared bloodline. This unspoken entitlement is a parasite that thrives on your guilt and your ingrained sense of obligation. They will engineer crises, create emotional vacuums, and present their problems as urgent demands for your involvement. Every hour you spend untangling their messes, listening to their complaints, or justifying your own path is an hour stolen from your ascension. They don't want you to fail, not exactly, but they want you to stay within their orbit, a manageable satellite, never a sun that outshines them. Think about the endless phone calls that lead nowhere, the family gatherings where your achievements are minimized or your struggles are amplified for dramatic effect. Watch how your success becomes a mirror, reflecting their stagnation, a reality they cannot tolerate without trying to pull you back into the comfortable mediocrity they inhabit. Your growth is a threat to their established order, and they will subconsciously or even consciously seek to restore equilibrium by deflating you. Here's how you sever this parasitic connection: psychological detachment. This is not about cutting them off physically, though that may become necessary. It is about cutting them off mentally, emotionally, irrevocably. You must internalize, with cold clarity, that their emotional state is not your burden, their choices are not your responsibility, their approval is irrelevant to your trajectory. If you try to explain your new boundaries, they will see it as a negotiation, an invitation to debate, to manipulate your perceived weaknesses. They will deploy guilt, past favors, and the sacred name of family as weapons. But if you simply act on your detachment, if you withdraw your emotional investment and your time without lengthy explanations, they are confronted with a stark new reality. There is nothing to argue with, only a new unyielding silence. Catherine the Great understood the necessity of emotional detachment from those who sought to sway her or drain her resources. She famously declared that her duty was to Russia, not to personal feelings or the demands of factions. What she understood is that true power, true leadership, requires an unshakable inner core, unperturbed by the clamor of lesser minds or the emotional blackmail of those around you. You owe your potential the same ruthless loyalty. This strategic indifference is your shield. When they bait you with passive-aggressive comments, when they criticize your choices or try to drag you into their dramas, you respond with a flat, neutral silence. No defense, no explanation, no flicker of emotion. You deny them the fuel they crave, your reaction. Your energy is too valuable to waste on validating their projections or feeding their need for control. Watch what happens when you refuse to rise to their bait. Their attempts at manipulation will wither and die from lack of oxygen. They may escalate initially, but without your participation, their game has no players. They will learn, slowly and painfully, that you are no longer a source of emotional supply, no longer a pawn in their internal narratives. You have become an unmovable object. Queen Elizabeth I mastered this art of enigmatic detachment, often maintaining her authority by simply refusing to be drawn into personal conflicts or emotional pleas. She presented a facade of unwavering resolve, holding her own counsel and letting others guess at her true intentions. Her famous declaration, "I have the heart and stomach of a king," was not just about courage in battle, but about the iron will to rule unburdened by sentiment, even from those closest to her. This is not cruelty. This is self-preservation. This is the necessary culling of anything that threatens your ascent, including the invisible chains of family expectation and emotional dependency. Your potential is a sacred trust, a seed that demands protection from weeds and parasites. You are building something extraordinary, and anything that does not contribute to that build, anything that attempts to tear it down, must be removed. Your potential is not a collective resource. It is your private arsenal. To allow them to sabotage it is to surrender your future, to betray the very essence of your ambition. You do not explain your boundaries. You do not ask for understanding. You simply set them, enforce them, and move. They are not your destiny. Your path is your own. You cut them off, you move on, you build your empire.